malefics are placed in good dignity. What does this mean? Dignity means the circumstances for that planet to act favorably, which suits his.
Yeah.
That's what dignity is.
True.
So when we say that, is it so? What people think? Your question is correct. I will tell you what people think internally when they hear this question. They think that maybe if the malefics are well placed, they behave like benefics. Maybe, or maybe they
Could
will.
be.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're malefics, so they're in bad dignity. So maybe they behave like benefics. This is a subtle thing which people sometimes feel, but we have to understand that they may be in whichever dignity, they will always remain malefics.
Yeah.
So when we say a malefic is in good dignity, what does this mean? It means that planet helps you to become independent, or it means we are in a situation that by which we, from our past lives, we have been trying our best to become independent in that area of life, in the regarding the houses with that planet lords or where the planet is sitting. Suppose fourth house, then it can be education, or sixth house or job or anything like this. And suppose a malefic is badly placed. So what does this mean? This means that we have not cultivated our.
True. More work to do.
Yes, so that means the sign will tell the awareness. Awareness means how much do you know, or that what should you do?
Yeah.
How much intelligence do you have regarding that planet? So, for example, suppose somebody has a debilitated Saturn in the fourth house, because Lord Ram has Saturn in the fourth, so I will link it to his example. Suppose somebody has a debilitated Saturn in the fourth house. Now, in case of Lord Ram, he has an exalted Saturn. So he is fully aware of how to deal with traits related to his mother. Yes. And because Saturn is retrograde, it can show the stepmother, Kaikeyi, not Kaushalya, his own mother. And what happened when Kaikeyi had told to Lord Ram that, my dear Ram, time to pack your bag. Time to go. It's my son who will sit, not you. So what did Lord Ram do? Did he start crying? No.
No.
Or did he start, panicking? "Ah, kya hoga? Kya hoga? Kya hoga?"
No. Yeah.
No panic, no. He's aware of how to handle that situation. He is aware of the mother. He is aware of the fact that a mother can have or will have, not should have, that a mother can have preferences for her own son.
True.
So he does not blame Kaikeyi.
Exactly.
Where in the Ramayana, Lord Ram says, oh, this wicked Kaikeyi, because of her, I am suffering now.
True.
But the question is, does he blame Mantra also? Because ultimately, Kaikeyi just listened to Mantra. But does Lord Ram say that, oh, it's this wicked Mantra? If only she was not the Mantra, for those who don't know, she was the servant of, or she was like a Sakhi, a friend of Kaikeyi. And does Lord Ram say that, oh, actually, if only this mantra was not there, I would have been in the throne of Ayodhya today, because she would have not polluted the mind of my mother Kaikeyi. But he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that. Because in his horoscope, for example, he's Cancer Lagna, as we know. So who is the lord of the sixth house for Cancer? It is Jupiter. Sagittarius is in the sixth house. The sixth lord is also exalted. Guru is in his Lagna, exalted in Digbala. So he's very aware of how to deal with servants and people who are under you.
Yeah.
Very aware of, there is this example which you will find, like for example in the Ramayana, what happened? Vibhishan had come to surrender to Lord Ram because Ravan had declared that Vibhishan,
Yeah.
either you stay on my side, or you'll be killed. So Vibhishan ran for his life, and he went and he came and fell at the feet of Lord Ram. And then what happened?
Mm.
All the other soldiers, they started that suspicion that, oh, this person is Ravana's brother. Uh,
Mm.
elder brother is like this. Younger brother will also be like that. Don't listen to
Yeah.
him. He's a spy. He will kill you. He will come and destroy all the negative things. If you read the Ramayana, of course, there was one person, and that was Hanuman, who said that even in family of demons like Hiranya Kashyap, there has been great personalities like Prahlad and Bali. So just because somebody is born in a Daitya or Asura family, does not mean he's also like that inherently. And then Hanuman says,
Mm.
when I went to Lanka to find Sita Devi, there was only one house where Ram was written, and that was his house. It
Yeah.
was the house of Vibhishan. And then Lord Ram, what he says, okay, I accept you. So the moment he sees Vibhishan, now of course he's Vishnu himself, he knows everything. But imagine it's like a normal person's chart. So sixth house is what? Punishment, basically, right? Sixth house is the house of punishment. So when somebody has fallen on your knees, what is he behaving like? He's behaving like Saturn, because Saturn is actually the servant, the slave. I mean, you
Yeah.
can use all those terminologies: servant or subordinate or slave, or whatever you want to use. But anybody
Mm.
who has completely collapsed, and one who does not have any shelter, that is what Saturn is. Because Saturn is the eighth house, you see, eighth law,
Mm.
eighth karaka of the eighth house, and eighth house is the graveyard. So somebody who has fallen to unto your feet is like Saturn, and his Saturn is exalted, and his Jupiter, temporarily his sixth lord, is also exalted. So the moment he saw Vibhishan, he understood, oh, he's not like Rava. And what does he
Yeah.
do? He says that now I coronate you as the emperor of Lanka.
Yeah.
That moment only. So the thing is, this has happened because his Saturn is exalted and his sixth lord is also exalted. He is highly aware of what to do and what not to do. So that so-called malefic, now see, Saturn was malefic. Just because he's aware, it doesn't mean that Kaikai or Mantra became very good. Did it happen? No.
Yeah.
So did
People
the
just have higher awareness.
did the exaltation change the results of that planet?
Mm.
No.
No.
So whenever we say that an exalted planet gives good results, we need to watch out our statement.
True. So
Exalted
it
planet,
will make us go through tough conditions as well.
yeah, that will depend on the houses and which dasha we are running. But we will have that
Mm.
awareness that why that is happening. Because there was one
True.
person who I met here in Germany. He said he was a bit interested in the Ramayana. So then he asked that, you exemplify the life of Lord Ram, but I would like to ask you a question that if you see the life of Lord Ram, it's like a series of disasters and failures, one after the other. It's like back to back failure.
Yeah.
What is so great about his life? Can you explain? Then I said, well, because he's playing the role of a human being. So he shows that human beings have failures in life. That is what
True.
avatar. That is avatar means avataran. Because in English there is not a translation for the word avatar. Because if you say Ram is a
Mhm.
avatar, in loosely is translated as incarnation. But
Yeah.
incarnation is not the word which should be used for avatars, because incarnate means incarna. Karna means flesh. So it's like saying coming back to flesh again. But
Yeah.
as Krishna says in the Gita that my body is completely spiritual. I do not come into matter. So incarnation is not a
True.
good word for the avatar. Avatar means avatara means one who descends as he is. So when Vishnu takes the avatar of Ram, he shows that human beings have suffering, and but how should a person behave when there is suffering? That is the greatest lesson, and that is why he is Maryada Purushottam. It's not because that his life was rosy. That's not the reason. He is aware. See, there again the game of free will. Now imagine this was a normal person, and imagine there was, like somebody like Duryodhana or Dushasan. Now these are such people when everything is there. Even then you are not happy. Like for example, in case of Duryodhan in the Mahabharata, what did he not have? He is the best example of Saturn. Rahu. The biggest trait of Saturn is dissatisfaction. So Duryodhan always dissatisfied. And then who is your what do you do then? You take help of Rahu. Because Rahu is the one who can eclipse the sun, right? Sun and moon.
Yeah.
So then you take help of Rahu. What you do? Oh, Bhima is small. Let me put poison into his, kheer. And he was very small. He's doing this as a young kid. Can you believe it? I mean, he wants to kill the Pandavas or insult Draupadi when he's elder and he's in his sense. That's different. But as a child, can you believe it? Have you seen a child telling that I want to murder somebody? I have not seen till now.
Yeah.
I have not even heard. Maybe there is somebody, but imagine, like kids, small kids, and not the teenage or adolescents. They were small. They were very small. They were in the ashram that time. That time he hatches this Rahu, invites Rahu there. What he says, I will kill this Bhima. Alright, so he's typical example of Saturn and Rahu. So that's the greatness of Lord Ram. That even there was a sequence of disasters, and in fact, after he comes back to Ayodhya after 14 years, when his Vanvas is over, officially he's done. Then what happens? Then he meets Bharat, and then he asks to Bharat that how is Mother Kaikeyi? He asks.
True. Yeah.
And then Bharat says, don't ask me about that wicked lady. I have nothing to do with that. She has ruined our entire family and I will never inquire about her. And then Lord Ram chastises Bharat. He says, you are her son, so it is your duty to inquire about her well-being. It is your duty to ask how is she. It is your duty to take care of her. If you are behaving like this, what will happen to her? And then he's not thinking. He doesn't says to her. Anyways, I know she's wicked, but forgive her. He doesn't say like that.
Yeah.
Then what he says, now if you go to bit before in the Ramayana, I'm trying to show how the free will is important. So when Lord Ram is banished, then Lakshman comes to know that Lord Ram has been given Vanaras. And then Lakshman, he's Balaram and his anger is like his anger is at the peak always. And then he takes up his dhanush, his bow, and he says, oh, this old henpecked Dashrath, he says like this. He does not say father. He directly says this old and this henpecked, like they say, henpecked husband. So he was meaning that this Dashrath is not under the word of his gurus or our tradition. He's just listening to his wife. So he's like a henpecked husband. Oh no, this Dashrath has given you these instructions. So let me tell you that before he tells you to do this, or before you go, I will go and destroy entire Ayodhya and the army, and then I will see where Bharat sits. You want a kingdom? Now you sit in this graveyard. And then what does Lord Ram do? He does not say, oh, finally, somebody is on my side. He's my man. He doesn't say that. In fact, he says, what nonsense are you speaking? You should not say like this. He's your father.
Yeah.
And then Lord Ram makes a very peculiar statement. He says, my dear Lakshman, what can be done? Destiny is very powerful. He said that. Now somebody may say, oh, is this not weakness that he's bringing destiny? No, he's not bringing destiny. He that's not his weakness. He's telling that there are some things in your life which are beyond your control.
Yeah.
Getting that is beyond my control. I cannot
True.
control KK and her mind. I can, but I don't do that because that's her free will.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when the malefics are well placed, I would say, then we are more aware of how to use our free will properly. And when the
Yeah.
malefics are badly placed, then the awareness is not there. Then what happens? The ghastly sides come out, which means suppose somebody is another way to check the Saturn is how much can we tolerate insults. That is another way. How much can we
Yeah.
tolerate? So, like for example, KK told Lord Ram that you have to go now, but he didn't say, "Oh, how dare you say like this? I will not go. This is an insult to me
Yeah.
and my manlyhood. Blah blah blah." He didn't say like that. So then he said that, "Okay, if that is what is your desire, I will go." And in fact, he says to KK that, "Why do you have to use my father as an instrument? You directly tell me that go to the forest. I want Bharat to sit. I will leave my kingdom."
Yeah.
And this we can see not only now, of course, I don't know Yudhishthir Maharaj's horoscope, but we can see this in the case of Yudhishthir Maharaj also. Like once there was some problem, and then he said, anyways, I always knew that Bhima will be a better administrator than me. So I will go to the forest now, and Bhima will sit in the throne, and he will rule Hastinapur. Yudhishthir Maharaj once said like this.
Mm.
So this is something which we have to understand that the point is just because the malefics are badly placed or sign wise in a bad dignity, they don't become malefics,
True.
or they don't make
Yeah.
circumstances like benefics do, or just because they are well placed, it does not mean again that they become benefics. It
True.
is the awareness of dealing with our karma, because the malefics in a true sense show the karma which we can't change.
Mm.
Because again I said Jupiter 2, 5, 9 and 11, they will show free will. Why? Because happiness. When you are happy, what you do? Like there was once, I will not take his name, but a very big liquor baron. He said that my business, I will always be successful in life. So somebody asked why. He said because when people are happy, they will take wine, and when people are unhappy, then also they will drink.
Yeah.
I will never go in loss. Of course, he's in serious loss now, but the thing is, the thing
Yeah.
is, just because you are happy doesn't mean you are doing great things in life, but the probability that you can do better things is much more in comparison to if you are
True.
unhappy. But
Yeah.
still, if the benefits are very strong in your chart, whatever misery comes in your life, you will never deviate from your principles.
Yeah.
And that is what Lord Ram, that is what he shows. His Jupiter is also exalted. His moon is also there in his own sign, and therefore, not only is he not affected by the malefics in a bad way, I mean internally, but he's also very much aware of how to deal with these circumstances. Like
Yeah.
he told to Vibhishan that, like when he told to Vibhishan that I coronate you as the emperor of Lanka. So then Sugriv had asked him a question. Suppose today Ravan comes and surrenders that, okay, it's my mistake. I had abducted your wife. Please take your wife back. It is my mistake. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Of course, Ravan would not do that because of his puffed up ego. But Sugriv said, suppose today Ravan comes and surrenders to you. Then what will you do? Because you have told Vibhishan that you are now the next king of Lanka. So what will you do? Very tricky question, right? But then Lord Ram says, I have no problem. I will put Ravan in the throne of Ayodhya after I go back. So there is no way that he can compromise